challenges, we encounter it then and there so that we can incorporate the course corrections. So the second key point is continuous integration and automation test. So Agile is in the heart of, automation is in the heart of Agile. So typically, why do we need automation? Again, it's the same point that we want to test, we want to find out the defects early enough, and we want to find the defects quick enough. So which means that automation gives us a nice framework for that. And what's the minimum expected now in typical Agile project is that you need to have a continuous integration setup done, which means that, as nicely shown in this image, you have a build, the build is initiated as and when somebody checks it in, or say on a nightly basis, so that if there's any problem in check-in, compiling errors, or integration errors, they are found out then and there. And these are, and then these can be attended to. And then once the build is ready, it's also typically put through a set of automated test cases. It can be functional tests, it can be system tests, it can be load and performance tests. So whatever we consider as something which is extremely critical and extremely important. So what do we get from here? It's simple that, okay, the code verification cycle is less than a day. And then we also have this, we also are able to confirm that at any point in time, I have a software which can work to a certain basic minimum expectation as verified in the automation test suite. So this is again a very, very critical component of any Agile project. And then if we are Agile, then I believe we must really have a strong continuous integration and automated test suite. Okay, then this is about testing within a sprint. So we talked enough on the need to test within a sprint. But there is an important nuance which we need to think of here. So within a sprint, typically what we do is we develop a user story and then it is tested when the user story is marked as completed by the developer. So what happens is there's a tendency to clog the test to really do the testing towards the end of the sprint, and then we are actually clogging the testing activities in the end, and then at the end of the sprint we may be in a situation where we are unable to mark certain user stories as completed because we are unable to complete the testing within the sprint duration, and then it affects the velocity and so on. So the idea is that you actually don't clog it to the end, and then as and when the user stories are nearing completion, the tester really takes it up and then does the testing, gives the feedback, so that we are actually moving towards completion of the user stories right from, say, day 3 or 4 of the sprint. So it's again a nice depiction here of a mini waterfall. So what we again don't want to do is just repeat a waterfall process within a sprint. Okay, taking on from the first slide where we are talking of a collaborative mindset and then everybody looking at quality output as a prerequisite of the software development process. Here you have to look at a mindset that, okay, testing is everyone's responsibility. So given that quality is seen as an indispensable output of Agile, and also that, okay, we need to have all those sprint demos and things like that in Agile, the quality practices are built in. As a nice saying goes, Agile projects tend to build quality in, which means that starting from the QA practices like pair programming, static code analysis, continuous integration, etc., we expect that the developer does his test properly, supported by unit test, supported by automated test. This can be at any level, say unit test or functional test or system test or load and performance test. And then one of these components is what a typical dedicated tester in an Agile team does. So basically what we want to say is quality or testing is not just a tester's responsibility. Everyone has a share in it. So typically we also expect that the architects, the designers, the product owners also to be sensitive to the testability aspect of the user stories. So essentially we are talking of the quality mindset pervading each and every member of the team, and then each and every member of the team doing his or her bit to ensure that quality is built in. So if the team is really sensitized towards quality, we expect that, okay, the need for dedicated testers is progressively reduced in mature agile teams, because at every step we are building quality in, and then we expect that the overall product quality to be good enough, and then the need for dedicated testers will actually reduce to an optimal level.